Heyo everyone, me should be barking here. So recently everyone who used the furry app Howlr got a message from Sushi, the app's mascot, stating that the app will be shutting down in a week or two. Now I was planning on making a video about Howlr already, but this announcement definitely pushed this video way up in my schedule. Anyways, if you're unfamiliar with Howlr, don't be surprised. I'm sure a lot of you don't know or at the very least forgot about Howlr, as it had a bombastic introduction into the furry community, then just kind of faded into obscurity, not ever being mentioned on social media again. I mean, heck, the official app's Twitter page hasn't posted since 2018, around its release time. That's almost 4 years ago. Oh my god, 2018 was 4 years ago. So why was that? What caused Howlr to fade away so quick? And why is it shutting down? Was it successful? And just what is this bark app everyone is talking about? Well, stick around and find out. So what's Howlr's history? Howlr became available on the Google Play Store on June 19th, 2018, and on July 26th of the same year for Apple users. If you're not aware, publishing apps for Apple's App Store is a much more tedious process, requiring more hoops to jump through to ensure the app is safe. Now, is it too many hoops? Well, maybe, but that's a topic for another day. Anyways, very quickly it amassed members. It became a big part of the community, being used at cons to find other furries with similar interests to yours, both inside and outside the bedroom. It's just hilarious. Only in the furry community can you have a profile that's like, yeah, I like acrobatics and diapers. The app gets compared to the popular gay hookup app Grindr a lot, but myself having never used Grindr, I can't really attest to this personally. While some use the app for hookups, and some used it to find potential love, others use the app in more of a casual way, which sort of caused confusions on what the app ultimately should be categorized, though we've seemingly settled on calling it a dating app. Now, I had a Howlr profile, but to be honest, I never really used it to hook up or anything, and really only used it to find local furs around me. Only recently after coming out as gay did I start using the app to find potential partners, though I still didn't mind making and meeting new friends through it either. In February of 2022, Howlr announced through a message on the app that it would be shutting down on February 26th, and we'll read that message later. So how was the app itself? It was okay, I guess. It definitely had its bugs, especially in the messaging side of things, but overall it was a decent app through and through. The app worked on a location basis. You could either use a live location or plop yourself down on the map somewhere and see all the furries who also use the app all around you. After that, you could edit your profile to provide info about you, your persona, your gender, sexuality, relationship status, as well as links to other websites where people could find you. Once you had your profile and location, you could throw likes to anyone around you, or you could search by name, location, age range, and groups you both were in. You could also message users stating that you would like to chat, hang out, snug, or hook up. Now, one major thing I didn't like was you couldn't give an opening hello until the other person accepted the chat request. Let me send one opening message, you know? Be like, hey, I noticed that we both play music, so I wanted to reach out. But you couldn't send any messages until the other person accepted. Anyways, as a whole, the app flowed pretty alright. It was a little clunky, especially in messages, but most of the time people used the messenger to switch to messaging on Telegram. So all in all, the app worked fine, great even. So why was it quiet? Well, one of the app's main founders was a person named Stormy, and if this name or face doesn't ring alarm bells, then buckle up. Stormy was, and honestly still is, very well known for being involved in the NSFW side of the fandom, oftentimes being in multiple adult videos on various sites. Now, Stormy being involved in the After Dark side of the community isn't the issue, it's what arose in 2018. Multiple people took to Twitter and other sites to voice their displeasure about Stormy being involved. Why? Well, he publicly admitted to being a zoo and admitting to having performed sexual acts on an animal back in 2010. Due to this, he announced his disinvolvement from Howlr and ultimately his retirement from the furry community, which, what? How do you retire from a hobby? Anyways, not the point, and not even that relevant because he reinstated all of his deleted social media and joined back like 2 months later. Stormy distancing himself from Howlr was likely the only reason Howlr was able to keep functioning and existed as long as it did, or at least it definitely helped. It's also entirely possible that people would have just used the app anyway because this community has a horrible reputation of just not caring what awful things someone has done. This controversy caused Howlr's social media to go dormant, and it has stayed that way ever since, with their last post being on August 26, 2018. On February 11th, 2022, Howlr sent out a message stating the following. Hello dear users of Howlr. We are very pleased to see a new alternative to Howlr emerging with Bark. It is everything you like about Howlr but better and more actively developed. We encourage you to join the beta, report bugs, and help make Bark the best app for our community. As for Howlr, we came to the conclusion that it was the right time to put an end to it. Over the years, we heard wholesome stories from people having their lives changed for the better by other furries they met on Howlr. Some found their loved ones or new best friends, and for that we are glad to have kept the app running for almost 4 years. But it was a stressful adventure and we feel relieved to stop. In the next few weeks, the following will happen. We will soon stop accepting new users and unlist Howlr from the app and Play Store. On the 26th of February, the service will be stopped. All our backups and every piece of data will then be deleted. Soon after, we will publish the source code of the backend on GitHub so that anyone willing to make a Howlr clone can do it. If Howlr was helpful to you and you wish to thank us for our service over the years, you can do so by buying us a coffee here. Thank you all for the great time we had. They also sent a follow-up text that I wasn't aware of until recently, so let's go ahead and read read that one too. By the way, apologies for the one message being dark and one light. I couldn't get my Howlr app to open to take screenshots, so thank you to Benji and Space Glutton over on Twitter for the screenshots. Hello, we just wanted to give you a heads up after the recent announcement. Thank you all for giving Bark a warm welcome. Just to make it clear though, Howlr is not associated with Bark. This is a totally different team, but working with the same goal of building great services for our community. If you want to get your data out of Howlr, you can now send /data to Howlr login bot, and as long as you use the same Telegram account you used to sign up, the bot will send you back a JSON file with all your data. And last but not least, thank you for your generous donations. We were able to send 400 euros to Harassers Hugo, a local non-profit organization that fights against harassment and bullying in schools. Thank you all for that. So yeah, Howlr's shutting down soon, and they'll be releasing the source code soon. An important thing to note is Howlr had stated that the upcoming app Bark, which we'll talk about later, is not associated with Howlr in any way. Some people seem to have this misconception that they're related, be it personnel or other ways, but this doesn't appear to be the case. So, the burning question. Was Howlr successful? I'd say as a whole, yes. Now, don't get me wrong, the app had its ups and downs, and the downs were way down. But despite the controversy, despite the social media side of things being so quiet, there was still plenty of users during its entire time on the App Store. I've met some cool people on there, and I have Howlr to thank for bringing me into the community. The local chair of a con near me, and at the time president of the furry group in my area, messaged me and introduced me to the local furry group on Telegram. And from there, I got much more involved in the group, going to fur meets, then eventually my first con. I genuinely don't think I'd be involved in this community had it not been for Howlr. Howlr introduced me to my first boyfriend after coming out as gay, and I couldn't have asked for a better first boyfriend. Him and I clicked immediately, and I feel extremely lucky to have met him through this app. Sure, things didn't work out in the end, but I'm still glad I met him on Howlr, and I wouldn't trade those memories we created for the world. Sure, sometimes people on Howlr can be weird or creepy, but as a whole, people's experiences were seemingly positive during Howlr's life cycle. Some people found friends, some hooked up at cons, and some fell in love. But I think most of us can agree that as a whole, Howlr turned out to be a positive part of the furry community. So with Howlr going away, what now? Well, there was furry life online, but that died almost immediately. The newest app on the block is an app called Bark. No, not the root beer, and it seems to work a lot like Howlr. It's in beta, so there's some bugs, but already the messaging system works way better than Howlr's ever did. Bark seems to be the best replacement for Howlr on the rise as of late, but only time will tell if this app is able to rise to the occasion and fill the shoes Howlr's leaving behind. So we're to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's topic. This is the first video in a bit that I've written a whole script and did adequate research, and it feels good to be getting back into the flow of things. So let me know, did you have Howlr? What was your experience with it? Are you gonna give Bark a try? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!